All right, so we're gonna look at Morote Nage, okay? So for those of you who don't know, if Eugene's standing 50-50 position, what I generally want to do in Morote Nage position is off balance my opponent forward, okay? Off balance my opponent forward, and then I'm gonna bring this gi lapel all the way across the body here, okay? So there's two movements with the lapel hand. The first movement is pulling towards me here, okay? This hand comes towards me, and then it goes across, okay? So it's forward and across, so now my thumb is directly by the armpit here, okay? Pull forward, thumb's by the armpit, and from here with my footwork, I'm gonna turn, use this bottom foot as a pendulum, I'm gonna turn in between his legs here, okay? And I'm gonna turn so that I'm facing in this direction, in this pocket, directly underneath Eugene. I always talk in my videos, do not do an ab curl, okay? But it's not always true. If Eugene's not sufficiently off balance here, if he deadlifts me upwards, it's gonna be very difficult for me to just do an ab curl here. But if Eugene's sufficiently off balance here, right now it's very easy for me to do an ab curl and finish with my back to the floor here, okay? So it's not always the case that you don't want to ab curl. It's a timing issue and an off balance Kazushi issue. But generally, when I teach this Morote Nage, okay, I go forward, bring this arm across, I drop, and I want to push Eugene forward here, okay? And then from here, look, I open this knee, drive, and bring my back to the floor here, okay? For the jiu-jitsu guys, you want to recover this way, and then obviously tight cross face at the shoulder, and then finish in this manner. How is this going to work with my opponent's defense? We start with this position. It's very easy to draw our opponent forward and then take him over. Usually going to take a step forward with his right leg and then step around. Right? If I go sit out here, this sort of thing happens, which is going to be very difficult because he's just going around the throat. So what I'm going to do here is, as I make it look like I'm going for Seoi, when he takes a step forward with his foot, I'm going to time it and attack Kochi here. So it's going to be drop Seoi, Morote Seoi, and Kochi. Okay? So I'm going to fake Seoi here and then go Kochi. Kochi. My hand work for this, once I bring my opponent forward this way, okay, I'm going to keep my hand underneath his chin. This is very, very important. Seoi, Seoi, Kochi. Okay, this way. If you don't get it, it's okay. What you're not going to do, mistimed it, come back out. Or you're going to keep that Kochi, and then you're going to drive it to gain position. So if Kochi doesn't work, drive. Now look, I'm in position to go Seoi again. If I don't get the Kochi, still push. Now there's my drop Seoi situation here. Right versus right. I'm going to show my Kochi or Seoi by doing this kind of a motion. Okay? Kochi, Seoi. I could go directly into the Kochi. Morote. Fake Seoi, fake Morote Seoi, turn throw. Fake Seoi, into Morote Seoi. So now we have a little bit of variety. I could show Seoi 2 or 3 times when I fight my opponent. Pulling him around, show Seoi. I can even go Seoi once and it sucks. Ah! Okay? It's okay. Now I return. Now he's very aware of the Seoi. I fake and I go Kochi. And now there's my Seoi. Okay? So I have 3 things that I'm working with. Faking Seoi, Morote Seoi, Kochi. Okay, there's 3 things. A lot of the times when I'm doing judo, my opponent's not just going to be standing here cooperating. He's going to be rigid, and he's going to have good hand position here. If I can't turn my head this way, I can't drop underneath. I go underneath here, I can still do drop Seoi, right? This way. But Eugene's going to keep his lat tight. Now I can't go underneath. It's going to cause me a lot of trouble. Also, if Eugene's pinning this arm, okay, even if this arm is clear, this arm is low, I'm not going to be able to turn, right? I need to be able to turn and drop. So I have to address both of those things. Those 2 resistant things will be a huge pain in the ass. This sleeve hand, okay, I constantly want to address this by trying to take his hand off. Not an easy thing to do, okay? If he's holding on really tight, it's going to be very difficult to take off. So now I have to attack Kochi. Watch out, Kochi. Take the hand, okay? So now I'm controlling the hand. His hand returns to my lapel hand. Then there's that Seoi, okay? I could go, take Seoi, take the hand off, okay? And now there's my kochi here. And it's Seoi. So now you got taking the hand off whilst showing the feint, Seoi, kochi, cut the hand. Because now you got 4 weapons. Sometimes, like I said, if he's tight on this arm, I'm not able to turn. So what I want to do is free this arm, okay? Maybe you can just cut this way, and then now you could go kochi, Seoi, okay? Maybe you gain this position first, and as he's trying to go for the sleeve, kochi, Seoi, cut, Seoi, okay? You can do this kind of a thing. Majority of the time though, when you're locked up, it's very difficult to do any of these things independently. Right? So you have to alternate between these things. So in this case, look, I just move here. Coach, move, cut. There it is. Here's my drop Seoi. It's a game of making him think about this side. Hey, hey. Even if he doesn't let go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Kochi. Uh-oh. Seoi. Okay? Seoi. Moving. Notice my feet are always positioned. So my turn to Seoi is very short. Bang. Whether it's drop Morote or regular Seoi. Just 5 things here. Sleeve cut. Kochi sleeve cut. Moving the lapel hand. Kochi. Adjusting. There it is. If he has 2 hands on, I always want to gain advantage with at least one of these guys. Whether it's this hand or this hand. If this hand's still pretty good, right? But if I'm able to free this side, okay? Maybe I can't come off right away and go kochi first, right? I can still kind of go underneath the space, right? Right, and I'm in a great place. From here, look, I can just do an out curl too, okay? Because he was so sufficiently off balance. It's not everything. We didn't cover like finishing mechanics, right? There's lots of other stuff. But this is a great place to start. If you could do this, I'm telling you, 80-90% of it is this, right? And what a lot of people does, oh, I gotta get good at Seoi, they just do this all day. And yes, you have to be able to do that. Right? Because it's a fundamental move you're actually trying to do. So if you can't do Seoi, you're not going to be able to do any of this. Right? But just doing kochi Seoi, just doing Morote Seoi over and over is not going to help you. Okay? It's only when you can do all these pieces together. There's 5 things that you're moving together, right? It's like a synergistic effect. Then you're getting somewhere, right? All right, so let's look at some of the details of the gripping break and then the breaking on the lapel. So the sleeve hand and the lapel hand, okay? Let's look at this lapel hand first. Depending on how he's grabbing it, Eugene's grabbing it properly, okay? So he's grabbing it to the side and he's pinning it down, okay? So from here, because this downward force here, it's very difficult to go up, and it's not just easy to just kind of go in this direction, okay? If there's constant tension on this arm here, okay? Keep that tension going. Look, I'm gonna extend and rotate this elbow to the outside of the hand. Okay, I've done this before. So now if we move, circle this way here, I go here. This elbow is on the outside of his wrist, okay? So now if I bring this arm across, it pops right off because his fingers are compromised. Now this is not an easy maneuver, okay? So when you feel this, you're constantly turning your elbow and then trying to bring this elbow over. Turning, elbow over, turning, elbow over, okay? It's kind of a nuisance, okay? Turning, see now I'm able to turn my arm inside the gi. So now when I bring this elbow around, right, there's elbow on the outside. If he decides to try to re-grip, it comes right off, okay? And this is the thing. If I'm holding on to the gi, I'm not squeezing every single moment that I'm doing judo. That's silly, right? Because then my forearm's tight and I'm stiff, I'm rigid. I'm not able to move in and out of position, I'm not explosive, okay? So as we're doing judo, a lot of the times I'm holding, I'm squeezing, it's like a contraction here, right? And I'm adjusting and maneuvering as I need to do so, okay? And most good skilled judo players would. If I just keep this pinned, and Eugene turns his arm on the inside, right? And throw this over, it's gonna cause me a lot of trouble if I stay here, right? Let's look at his fingers. Right, you see how he's putting this tension on the fingers? Look, my finger's going this way, it hurts, it sucks. And just pop it. Ah! The finger's gone, okay? When this hand pops off, okay, I'm trying to re-grip and then Eugene pulls his elbow up. Uh-oh, right? So now I'm looking for this side and it's gonna create some openings here. Okay, very easy to open this way, okay? So, a lot of good players, right, if they're trying to control down here, they're gonna kind of move, right, and adjust accordingly, okay? In this case, I'm trying to rotate my arm upwards. Eugene releases this pressure, right, because he doesn't want me to rotate the arm inside, okay? And in this case, look, I bring this arm up and I just cut with the accent down really hard out of his hand this way. Bang. Okay, and then when he goes to return the sleeve, look, I'm very aware, try to grab the sleeve, right? And this is sort of where the shake the gi thing comes into play. You're not shaking the gi, you're moving your arm, okay? And I have to really fight back on shaking the gi because I hear these coaches all the time, grab his lapel and just start shaking his gi. This serves no purpose. If he's shaking the gi here like this, okay, and there's no movement here, it's very easy for me to secure this and then pin this down, okay? Also notice, when I'm doing Seoi, I'm not grabbing by the elbow, okay, which offers a lot of control. I'm generally down by the lower sleeve because my intent here is to cut this hand off, okay? That's a very important distinction. So when I'm going against a judo guy, let's say from Japan who's a drop Seoi guy, majority of the time, they're gonna wanna try to favor the low sleeve because they wanna create maximum separation here in order to cut the sleeve. You see how much distance there is here? If I grab by the lapel, the higher on the sleeve, right, there's not that much distance, and based on the length of his arm from his elbow to his hand, it might not be enough, okay? It also dependent on how long my arms are. So all those factors come into play, right? Generally, when you're doing judo, right, you're gonna deal with, this is the issue when you're going against somebody for Seoi. This is how you shut it out, right? And that's why you wanna move your elbow to break this lapel, sleeve grip. If he's down by the sleeve here, lower, his intent is to cut this hand, okay? But it's not that bad if you can immediately go into Seoi. So this is sort of a thing where if he cuts the hand, you're in trouble, okay? And when he does cut the hand, bang, now you have to go into Ippon Seoi territory here, okay? This is one where you go directly across, or you cut the hand, and now you have this dilemma where I may come over the back or go Ippon Seoi. Right? So those are the different things that may integrate to this system. Right? Let's look at this lapel though. That's what we were talking about, right? So with no hand, I'm anchored by his chin here. Elbow goes up and accent down this way. Okay? So this point does not change. The only thing that's changing is the angle of my elbow to my shoulder. Up, down. Okay? I go up really hard, right? Move in, or I go down really hard. Okay? I always like to say up accent, down accent, like you're playing the drums or something, right? So as he's going, look, I'm moving up. If he grabs it, I go adjusting, down accent hard, okay? Kochi, Seoi here, right? So that's the lapel hand. Let's look at the sleeve hand. If I wanted to break this sleeve, okay, what I want to do here first is I want to pull the gi to the side, collect, so now there's tension downward on this hand. From here, I'm not very strong in this range, okay? So, from this position, there's downward tension, right? I adjust the shoulder really quickly. So now, I'm in mid-range of this pushing movement, okay? I'm not pushing from here, I'm pushing from here, right? If you lift weights, which you should, you know that you're very, very strong in that mid-range situation when you're doing push movements. So, pull the sleeve tight, look, I adjust, and now this is a great position, okay? Also, if you notice, he doesn't really control my head, so I can immediately go turn, open, and drop underneath, even just with this difference, okay? But still, this is dangerous because as soon as there's tension released here, if he climbs his hand up, and then I try to go Seoi, look, and then he gets to counter me here, okay? Maybe he's waiting for this kind of a thing. So I prefer to cut that hand completely, okay? And the way you do this, for Seoi guys, adjust the gi, cut, cut. Movement here, cut. Okay, so this is the actual movement that you want to do. Okay? adjust, cut, move in here. Then you throw in your kochi. Fake Seoi, adjust, move. It's kochi, move in here. Seoi, right? Then you go ochi. That's how you integrate your judo. Right? If you're an ochi guy, you slip that in there. You have a 5-attack system with 2 positional stuff, 3 attacks, 2 attacks, and then 1 feint. Right? And you alternate between those things, and then you fill in the rest. Okay? Things such as, same everything. Kochi, fake Seoi. Look, it's the side. Cut the turn, bang. Shorter turn. Okay? Moving, kochi, fake Seoi, moving, ouchi, into Seoi. So now you're mixing your things in. Okay? So that's really the secret here. And doing this 5-prong system for Morote Seoi. Lapel, sleeve, feint, kochi, Morote Seoi. Okay? The most concise, conceptual instruction you've ever had.
Best one out there.
Yeah, Phyllis, thank you very much, Eugene. All right, how was that?